All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Firestone Walker Brewing Company, and they're out of Paso, Robles, California, and this is their Chocolate Cherry Stout. So this is a milk stout that is brewed with cocoa nibs and cherries. It comes in at 5.5% alcohol by volume, 27 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 6 weeks old. So this is a new limited release from Firestone Walker, and it sounds pretty good. Chocolate Cherry Stout, pretty simple. Now on the side here, it just says stout brewed with chocolate and cherry, but this does contain lactose. Therefore, I'm assuming it's a milk stout, just a stout. We're gonna say milk stout, whatever, doesn't matter. It definitely has lactose in it according to their website. And yeah, so I wanted to give this one a go, and here we are. We have the hashtag proper glassware, and we're gonna crack it open and get into the glass. So see how this one is. I'm kind of excited about it, honestly. I recently reviewed the cherry stout from Bell's, and it was okay. You know, not my favorite or anything, but it was all right. So I'm hoping that this one is a little better with the addition of chocolate. So yeah, so that pours out a really deep brown color. When I was pouring it, it was basically brown, but there's, you know, it's dark brown and there's lighter brown tinges at the bottom. On camera, probably pitch black. Has about a finger of this straight up light brown colored head, looking pretty creamy, decent. So yeah, looks nice. Let's get a nose. Ooh. So I'm getting a very faint, like, cherry cordial vibe. Not super sweet, but I get a little bit of the cherry. It's not super, like a super sweet cherry, more of like a slightly tart cherry. And then I'm getting more of like a dark chocolate. A little bit of vanilla from, I would assume is the lactose, could just be the base beer. Roasted malt underneath everything, a little bit of caramel and toffee. Yeah, smells pretty nice, actually. I'm getting the chocolate, I'm getting the cherry, I'm getting some of the stout characteristics. It doesn't smell too sweet or, you know, too tart from the cherries or anything. It smells pretty damn nice. So this is a low ABV stout at 5.5%, so I'm not anticipating like huge, big, like punch me in the face type of flavors, but I'm hoping that the cherry and chocolate are there and they intertwine well with the base stout. We'll see. Anyway, cheers everybody. Ooh, that's actually quite nice. So I'm getting a lot of chocolate, actually. The body at 5.5%. It's like high side of light, low side of medium. I expect that at a 5.5% beer. The mouthfeel has a decent amount of carbonation to it, but it's pretty smooth on the palate. Not super soft or creamy or anything. Lactose is just adding a little bit of that softness and slight creaminess to it. Body mouthfeel are fine for the percentage. The taste right up front, roasted malt, along with this nice, sweet, dark chocolate character. Right after that, I'm hit with a pop of like a sweet, dark cherry. This isn't really a tart, like unlike the cherry stout from Bell's, where I got a decent amount of tartness to the beer. This one just has more of a cherry flavor, and it's more of like a sweet dark cherry. So there's really no tart component to my palate on this one. And just like the nose, it gives me slight cherry cordial vibes because there's this underlying like slight vanilla sweetness, which I think is coming from the lactose. That carries on through the palate and on the back, and it's not super sweet, but it has a nice sweetness up front that you kind of expect from a beer like this. But as it continues through the palate, I'm hit with this slight bitter and earthy component on the back of the palate and a nice semi-dry finish. So this leans a little bit sweet, but it's almost balanced enough where you could just say it's straight on a balanced beer between the bitterness and the sweetness, but it still leans a little bit to the sweet side. So I can't say it's completely balanced. Very mild, soft bitterness on this one. I really like the roasted malt character that's kind of omnipresent throughout the entire palate, but never steps in the way. Yeah, not an overly complex, crazy beer here, but for what they're going for, a low ABV chocolate cherry stout, I thought, you know, it'd be kind of tough to pull off, but I think they did. I think they did a really good job with this one. So, yeah, I mean, 5.5%, you can't even tell there's alcohol in here outside of knowing it's a beer. Yeah, I mean, this is not overly complex. You get the chocolate, you get the cherry, roasted malt, a little bit of an earthy bitterness, and that's pretty much it. But I think it's a well-executed package. If you're looking for a low ABV stout that has some nice adjunct flavors to it, but not too crazy, I think I'd pick this one up, honestly. So, Chocolate Cherry Stout from Firestone Walker. I'm gonna give it a low 4 out of 5 and go 3.95 out of 5. Almost gets to a 4. I think a little bit better of a mouthfeel, I'd give it a 4, but right in the 4 range. I think it's really well done. I think if you pick this one up and you're expecting, 2x4 to the face type of flavor, shout out to Matt over at Massive Beer Reviews for that tasting note. But if you're experiencing like something that's just gonna like attack your palate with like tons of flavor, you probably should look somewhere else, because this is 5.5% and that's tough to do. Even with a chocolate cherry edition, like a sub 6% beer usually doesn't do that. If this was 10%, sure, I want to get bombarded with chocolate and cherry and just a ton of different flavors. But this is supposed to be somewhat of a session stout that has some nice chocolate cherry flavors, and I think they did a great job with it. So 3.95 out of 5 for Chocolate Cherry Stout from Firestone Walker. Price and availability. Availability wherever you see Firestone Walker. I mean, if you see their regular offerings, you should see this one. This isn't like a crazy, part of their proprietary series or anything. This is just, a regular, I guess you would say rotating or seasonal offering. So if you see their regular beers, you should see this. And price point on this one, I think it was $10.99 a 6-pack. So I know I paid about $2 for that can. So I mean, that's a pretty good fucking price for a beer that kind of delivers on what they're going for. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. I think they did a really good job with it. Overall, it's a great session stout, in my opinion. So yeah, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.